let's say that for the next hour, next 60 minutes, we're going to show you what you can achieve by using Web Intelligence as a dashboarding tool. This is really straightforward, so let's start. Before to move on, I have two marketing slides explaining what is Web Intelligence, but I'm pretty sure that if you are all with us today, what is described on the screen should not be a surprise. What WebI is for. This is to facilitate ad hoc queries, operational reporting, and analysis in a repeatable framework. WebI is here to help you deliver information throughout your organization to help you to take business decisions. And the aim of WebI is really to improve decision making and improve your end user autonomy regarding self-service BI. So that's the meaning of the small graphic we have on the right, which explains that when you use WebI, you can start to ask your question to the database, get the data, analyze, format your result, share your document, then you send it to your end user, and your end user can, in return, interact with the WebI document, analyze himself the content, assess the content, or put some comments, and in some situation, when they have the right, they can modify the document and start again to ask questions and so on and so on. So, in terms of capabilities, you all know this. WebI, you can achieve ad hoc query, design your report, analyze and inject interactivities in your document, share and collaborate on the result of your document. You can mobilize your WebI document, meaning that you don't necessarily have to be on your laptop to consult your WebI document. You can use your favorite smartphone or tablet. And last but not least, with all of this, you can embed your Web Intelligence document and information by using the REST API, which is the SDK we are using today to help you to achieve that. So quickly, that's what WebI is good at. And as you might know, WebI is a really a popular tool in terms of reporting. Most of you are using it to achieve this purpose, reporting, but very few are using it to create dashboarding. Very few have tried, and the reason why they have tried is the following one. We provide you a full control of the document layout and content, that you can perform precise layouting inside Web Intelligence. You can, in your layout, position many block types. By block types, you have to understand different types of charts and tables, and this with the aim to let you display your information in the way you would like it to be displayed. You can perform freeform analysis via interactive analysis, meaning that you can define some guided navigation and interaction that will help your end user to analyze the result of your WebI document. And last but not least, we propose you a new and modern consumption experience. So this was true since the 4.2 Size Pack 4 with the Web Intelligence Interactive Viewer, and this is absolutely true with the BI 4.3, where we propose you a modern and simplified Web Intelligence user interface, and altogether, all the features I've just mentioned, plus all the new interface and the workflow we propose you in BI 4.3 will help you to achieve this use case, which is, and you understand it, which is to design dashboard by using Web Intelligence. Okay, before to start the demo, just a quick overview of the methodology we're going to use to achieve that, right? Before to create a, yes? Excuse me?
Go ahead, Gregory. By the way, please feel free to ask all your questions in the chat box on the right, but go ahead, Gregory.
Okay, perfect. So the methodology. Before to create a dashboard by using Web Intelligence, the first thing to do is really easy. You have to sit with your end user and understand their needs. You have to start with a piece of paper and a pen and you just draw what are the expectations, just really to understand the type of KPIs you're looking for, the type of visualization you are looking for, and really before to start in the tool, you really start with a piece of paper, a white page, a pen, and you virtually create the ideal dashboard they are looking for, and you challenge them. You have to challenge them regarding, is it really the KPI looking for? What is the meaning of this KPI? Or would you interpret this KPI? If you display this KPI, what would be the tech action you expect your end user who will consume the KPI will take? This kind of things you have to have in mind before to create your dashboard on this piece of paper. Once you have done that, meaning that at the end of the different interview, you will have conduct with the end user, you'll have an overall very good idea of the things you'll have to build in the tool. Now you go in the tool. Methodology to create dashboard in WebI Engines. This is to give fixed size to the different block. By block, I mean table and chart. That's the aim, and that's the meaning of this slide, meaning that in our demo, we're going to create what you have on the screen here. But notice that in order to have something really elegant and really nice to look at, we use fixed size to the different blocks for the tile, which are 100 by 50 millimeters in terms of size. And we use exactly the same proportion so that when we place the different blocks on your page, they will nicely be positioned on the screen with the same size, being aligned, and so on and so on. You can start with an existing WebI engine when you create a dashboard. This is not I would say this is not straightforward, but that's what we're going to do in our example. But most of the time, you start with a blank WebI document to achieve this dashboard. What you're going to do in our exercise, in our demo, is exactly what you're on the screen. From this WebI Engines report, which is a paginated report with some kind of information related to line of items and their sales, we're going to achieve this. And we're going to do this in front of you in less than 1 hour, just to show you that you can achieve this. This is really doable. That's the first objective. Second objective for this session, really for you who are new with the BI for the tree, we will give you an overview of the BI for the tree new interface, meaning that you will understand where are located the functions in the new user interface, because really, compared to BI for the 2, WebI is really different in BI for the 3. And just to let you know, if you decide, because most of you are on BI for the 2, if you decide to upgrade to the BI for the 3, which is for you a simple update, you have to consider the change management, meaning that before to put your end user in front of the new BI for the 3 interface, maybe it would be good to consider some change management to help them not to get lost when they will be inside the new interfaces. And to achieve that, we have in several weeks now a business object BI World Tour, which is a kind of virtual university where you can subscribe, go and find many information and many videos that will explain you what is new in the new interface, and what you can achieve by using the BI for the tree. Okay, before to give to let Pascal share his screen and start the demo, just to let you know the sequence of action we're going to do. We're going to prepare the layout. We're going to create and nicely format all the different blocks on the canvas. Then you're going to precisely align the blocks one versus each other. For this, we call this relative positioning function. Then at the end, you inject interactivity to make the things dynamic. And finally, you can save, open, and play with your brand new WebI Engines for the 3 dashboard. So that's what you're going to see now. So thanks for your attention. And Pascal, it's up to you now.
Thank you, Gregory. So I'm going to share my screen now. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good.
All good. All good.
Thank you.
Hey, Pascal, I just hope behind the scene nobody touched to all the work you've done. We'll see. It's always the live effect,
Yeah.
but
Okay. So, oh,
C'est pas celui-là, Pascal.
no, it's not that one. That's
this
this
is
one.
make someone happy,
Okay.
but this is not this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the initial document that Gregory showed you, and what we want to achieve is this one. Okay. So let's start. As Gregory mentioned, the first step is simply to change the layout of the document. So yeah, I need to switch to edit mode first. So what you can see is the new interface of the WebI 4.3 client. So the side panels on the right-hand side now instead of the left-hand side. This is the Fiori design, aligned with the other tools we are using in the at SAP. It's HTML5. And so it's completely new, a different user experience, easier to use. Whenever you select an object on the report, then you have the content of the side panel here which changes and shows you, for instance, I have selected the table and it shows the feeding of that table. If I switch on the pen brush here, I can see the format of the table. So whenever I select a different object, then I have the content which changes here. I have the format of this table. Here I have the format of that cell, etc. If I click twice on the table, then I switch from the format of the table to the format of the table cell. So that's the way it works. Easier experience, no pop-up windows, which makes the life of the designer easier. So first of all, I said we are going to change the layout of the document. So switch here. So I go to the appearance of the document. Switch to A3, we said, okay, and landscape. So by default, every modification I do is immediately applied, but I have a setting here, which is called instant apply, which I can disable if I prefer to do several modifications and then apply my modifications afterward. Okay, then select the header. We said we wanted a 3 centimeters high header. Change the color of the background. So back to the document here. Going to switch to black. Same thing for the header here. Switch to black. Then I can still select here the content of the header from the report structure document here. So typically, if I want to change the text to make it in blue, okay, that's how I'm going to do it. Right, same thing for the data here. And the period of time, which is right there. Okay. So I quickly align the content of these cells here. All right. Don't forget to save regularly. So that's it for the layout. My layout is ready. Now I'm going to build my first widget or charts or whatever you want to call them. And I start with the KPIs here. I have some KPIs in this table and I want to use some tile charts for that. So I go here to the indicator. Put the first one here. And the first one is the margin. So I'm going to just go for the margin. Then format that one. So I switch to the format panel. I want to see the subtitle and the footer. Okay. In terms of color, Going to stay like this, no border. I have rounded corners. Okay. Then I go to whenever in a chart or a tile, whenever I select a region into that chart, then the panel automatically switches to the format settings for that region. So here I clicked on the title of the tile, and automatically the format panel shows me the settings for the title. So the label, just leave it as it is, and for the going to switch to background color blue, and then white color. Okay, just change the background color here to make it black. Okay, then switch to the background color here. Okay, and then I have the KPI there. Okay, change it to blue. I can also change easily the name of each widget here. Okay, and I can change the region from there. So I make it blue. No, I want to make it white. A background blue. And the footer in white as well. We're talking about euros here. There we are. Okay. Background color blue. Just forgot one thing for the abbreviation to make it work as well. Okay. So that's the first one. Somehow I lost the. Okay. So just going to change the size. So first size is 5 centimeters, 8 and 10 centimeters width. Okay. Now I'm going to duplicate those. Second one, instead of margin, I have the net sales. Just replace margin by net sales. Okay. Fourth one is quantity. Third one, quantity. Change the footer units. Okay. And last one is customers. Customers, which I have here. That's it. So I don't need a table anymore, so I can remove it. Going to roughly align my my tiles here at the top. Okay, so these are for the KPI tiles. Then I'm going to modify my table. So I want to have a table of a fixed size. So for that, I'm going to use the rank here and just select the 12 first ranks. So when I select the table here, I have several tabs, actions I can take on the content of the table. So here we have the feeding. There we have the sorting of the objects in the table, the filtering, sorry. Then the sorting here, I see that I have a rank, which is already sorted. And then I can add a rank. So I'm going to take the 12 first. Okay, based on ranking. Okay, so that allows me to limit the size of the table to the 12 rows. Okay, I'm just going to change the sorting. Okay, this way. Then I can have to format the table size. So I have here the first first column, make it slightly smaller, make it fit nicely into the document. And then for all the other columns, just going to make them slightly larger. So I can select several columns once to apply my settings. Same thing here for the header cells. Okay, change the color. Right, and background in blue, like everything else. Okay, just align it nicely, the middle. Okay, so that's it for the table. And to save my document. Then I'm going to create some charts. So as you can see here, I selected several charts to have here waterfall chart, geomap, etc. So first one, waterfall chart. Okay. So whenever I insert a new element, report element into the document, and I have the build panel which automatically opens and shows me the assignment on that object, so I can select my my objects I want to use as a feeding for the report element. So here I already know the what I want to choose. Categories, I'm going to use the period of time or year and month. Just make sure we switch to the waterfall. And value access is the target. Right. Then I switch to the format. Change the size, so it's going to be a wide size, 20 centimeters plus 4 millimeters for the gap in between. roughly aligned with the other widgets. I can add more. I'm going to change the name. Call it a waterfall. By the way, this is something important to do whenever you do your design, is just give some meaningful name to the report elements, so you can easily find them when you modify your document or when you want to align all the report element. And with the new WebI 4.3 interface, that's something which is really easy to do. As you can see here in the report structure, then I have all the elements which are named after their content, so it makes my life easier when I want to redesign the document. So going back here to the waterfall chart, I want to go to the plot area. I want to show the data label. Okay, and I have the reference line. I'm going to calculate and show the total. Okay, probably going to change the colors. Oh, going back to the green color for increased values. And just leave it automatic. Okay, for the data labels, just to change the orientation, put it horizontal and outside. Easier to read. Okay. Going to change that title to usually it takes automatic title based on the feeding you have on the chart, but sometimes that's not what you want. Right. Last thing I want to do is just to show the currency sign next to all the currency values. So if I go to the feeding again, that's the format display here. You can change the currency. Here we are. Okay. Next to that, I want to have the geomap. The data is already geolocated, geocoded, so it's easier for me to build my geomap from there. In terms of feeding, so location, country, we're going to choose a choropleth, which is the painted countries, different colors for each country, and the value for the no, actually we're going to use a GeoPaper, and that will be the net sales for the values. All right, switching to the format again, changing the up, give it a name. Don't want to see the don't want to see the legend. Make it wide, 24 and 10 centimeter height. So this time the I'm happy with the title. That's exactly what it shows. So I can move it roughly like this. All right, just going to add the data labels to show the countries I'm talking about on the geomap. Yeah, that's what I want to show. Okay, just looking at the result to make sure I didn't forget anything. No, that's about it. Okay, so I'm not going to build the other charts. The other charts we have here. We have a funnel chart there. Here we have a tree map, and there's also a bubble chart underneath. So I won't do it because it's always the same thing basically. So it would be too much repetition. So let's say I've done these two other charts. I'm now step 3. Okay, I've got all my charts and the table is there, the KPI at the top. And now the next step will be to nicely precisely align all the different charts and all the different elements into the report. There's something specific about that report we want to build, is that we want to show either the bubble chart or the tree map, depending on the input controls we have here, the values we have selected in this input control. Basically, what happened is that there we have here a tree map showing some values for all the countries, okay? But since we want to have an element link filter on the geomap, when only one country will be selected on the geomap, the tree map here would be useless because it would show only one country. So in that case, we want to switch to the bubble chart underneath. So that's why we have those two charts. I'll show you that at the end of the demo when we reach the interactivity step. So how do we properly align all these report elements? Well, simply like this. Okay, we stay on the format panel here. We have in this tab there, the layout tab, where we have defined the different size of each of the report element. Then we can play with the relative position of the element. That's where it becomes useful to deactivate the instant price, so that we have less flickering when aligning the report elements. So here I want to start with the first one this way, and then I click align. Then second element, same thing here. It's going to be 0.4 centimeters from the right side of that's where it becomes really useful to have proper name for each report element, because I know I want to align the net sales KPI next to the margin KPI. So that's why I'm using these names. And we'll align on the top side of margin as well. Okay. We can do with the others. On the line below, same thing. I'm going to do 0 centimeters from 0.4, sorry, centimeters from the left edge of the report, and 0.4 centimeters below the bottom side of margin this time. And the geomap will be 0.4 centimeters from the right side of the waterfall, and a line on the top of the waterfall. So going from one widget, one report element to the next, we get all the report element nicely aligned. So that's when we're here at step 4. Okay, going back to instant apply. And so the following step will be to add some interactivity onto the different report elements we have here. Looks like this one is slightly smaller. Yeah, it should be 20.4. Okay, okay. So what we have inherited from the original document, we have a number of input controls here. Okay, we have also some prompts on the query. We can see the prompt values there, and the different input controls are there. That's the way it works in Web Intelligence 4.3. All filters are available there on this toolbar that I can hide or show with this button. Same thing with the formula bar here, which is there. I can hide and show with this button. Okay, what I'm going to add is some element linking from the geomap to use the geomap as a filter on all the other elements within the report to make it more interactive. First of all, I'm going to add because I want to see which country is selected. I'm just going to add the current country here in the header. I just format it nicely. Okay, no header. No border. And then select the table cell, background color. I got to fit in width. And okay, make it much bigger. Right. So now let's look at how to add some element linking on the geomap. So going back to the build panel here, go to the filters. I have here, I can switch between the here I can see the input control which are currently applied to this chart. And if I go there, I can add additional filters there. I just have to drag and drop objects from the dictionary onto the filters bar, the filters placeholder here. And when I switch to element link, then I can create an element link just on the object which is displayed on the geomap, which is the country object. Okay, and that's going to apply to the that's the cell I've added into the header, the block 11. I'm going to apply to all objects, but the geomap itself. Okay, so I can always use the geomap as a control. Right, so let's save that, and so go back to view mode. This is how it's going to work. I got here the geomap with all the countries in my data. So if I click on Canada, and it automatically filters the content of all the values here on Canada, and it shows me here at the top in order the country I've selected. I switch to Sweden, go back, changes the content, okay. And if I want to reset the filter, I'll just go there, element links, just go to reset there. That's it. So the other trick I wanted to show you is how to, you see when there's only one country selected, the content of the tree map, that's what I explained earlier on, the content of the tree map here is, I'm just going to fit to page to make it, the tree map here shows only one country, which is not really interesting. So what I'm going to do is just in the format panel, in the display tab, I can hide according to a formula, and I'm going to type in a simple formula. So I can type it in directly or open the formula editor here, and the formula will be we're just going to count the number of country here. Sorry. And so we will hide the chart when there's only one country, which means that when one country got selected. Okay, so go back to view mode just to show you that quickly. Go to all the countries there, selecting USA. So see the tree map, which was on the top of the bubble chart, is now hidden, and I can see the bubble chart showing me the details of the net sales for the and the versus quantity for the category of product for USA, which is the currently selected country. Okay. Last trick I wanted to show you in terms of interactivity, we have here an input control which defines two values, margin or net sales, which are some of the KPIs we have selected here. And what I wanted to do is just to use the funnel to change the KPI. So typically here, when I look at the funnel chart and the fitting, I'm using at the moment net sales, but what I'm going to do instead is use measure. Measure is this value. If KPI equals net sales, then I use net sales, otherwise I'm using margin. So I switch between two different measures. Okay, so I'm going to use that variable instead of net sales. Okay. At the moment, right? Okay. Then, okay, I'm going to apply this. Then, okay, and what I'm going to do here, instead of make the title meaningful, just changing the title here, make it custom. So it's going to be KPI. And it's always still by category. So this way the title will change according to the KPI, which is currently used. It's actually by category plus, if I want to be exact.
Hey, Pascal, just a quick one, or just for the audience, if you've got questions as time is flying, just make sure that you feel free to add them in the chat box on the right of your screen, so that we can take a couple minutes at the end of the presentation to answer to them. And I know there are a few questions asking, okay, will this presentation be shared? Of course, this will be shared probably by Thursday this week. So you'll get the recording and then the slides that were with the recording.
Okay,
Go ahead,
thank
Pascal.
you. Thank you, Bruno. I'm actually at the end of the demo. So here I've changed the title of the funnel chart here to use the value of KPI, which is defined by the input control there, which means when I switch from margin to net sales, for instance, okay, then now the funnel shows the net sales value for these categories of product, and the title is according to the measure used in the chart. So these are a few tricks I show you in terms of interactivity on the different report element. On top of that, we have all the elements which are the input control which are there you can use. Okay, and so here you are. We have so a nice dashboard with lots of interactivity. That's it for the demo.
Thank you very much, Pascal. So please feel free to ask questions in the chat box. So I'll just share my screen just to go ahead with the rest of the presentation. Okay, I guess you see my screen right now. Can you see my screen, Pascal?
Yes, yes, I can see it.
Just hold on. Okay. No. Okay, here it is. So anyway, yeah, please submit your questions in the chat box. That's the first thing. And then also, just before we go to all the questions, we've got a second poll we'd like to launch to try to understand which BI solution you're presently using. Okay, so in terms of data visualization solution, what are you using today? Of course, I'm assuming you're all using WebI. Are you guys using Lumira? Are you guys using SAC, Tableau, Power BI? Just if you can take a couple seconds to answer to that poll. So it's, yeah, we're interested to know which data viz solution you're using, outside of BobJ. And it's actually not unusual to be using multiple data viz solutions. So we're about to close the poll. Just take another 5 seconds to answer, and then we'll close the poll, and we'll actually be sharing the results with you. So yeah, Chris, let's close the poll and let's check it out on the results. So yeah, so no surprise, of course, you're mainly using WebI. No surprise, almost half of you guys are using Lumira. Yeah, SAC is still quite low, and of course, we've got quite a few users dealing with Tableau and Power BI. So thank you very much, Chris. Okay, so while you start to ask your questions in the chat box, just around 360. So right now we were presenting things around 4.3 and how to build dashboards. We've actually put together a methodology with the 360 team around how to actually upgrade your BobJ, your business objects to SAP 4.3. So, and we've got a white paper around that. And then we've also put together a package to help you to do your upgrade, just saving time and cost to make this happen. So it's very well documented around that. So before we go to the Q&A, basically is we like to know, hey, are you guys interested to get an ebook around how to upgrade your business objects? Do you want to get some more information around 4.3 upgrade package? Do you want to get a demo? And if you guys want to get some trial keys of 360, please feel free to answer, and we'll get back to you while you guys are answering as well. So please prepare all your questions. We've got another 15-20 minutes if we want to answer questions, and I know Pascal and Gregory will do their very best to answer to these questions. So let's close the poll, Chris, and let's go directly to the Q&A. Okay, Chris, let's close that. Okay. So in terms of Q&A, so first of all, we will be sharing the recording after the event, so don't worry about it. Pascal, Gregory, do you have access to the questions, or should I read them for you? How do you want to proceed? So I see a first question from Ravi asking, I saw the widgets. Is it not depreciated by 2020?
Do you hear me?
Yep, we hear you.
Yes, you're right. We do not support anymore the BI widget as part of the BI for the tree.
Okay. Okay, are we going to share this presentation? That was another question. Also, there was another question asking, in 4.3, are there new things to show WebI dashboards that are different with 4.2? Is there anything new?
Which is new is the way you're going to be able to interact with your WebI document thanks to the new Web Intelligence for the Free interface. This is really brand new. The end user has really been at the core of our thinking regarding the way we want the WebI for the tree to look like in terms of interactions and simplicity. This being said, because we had a strong focus on the new interface, most of the capabilities that you have in BI for the 2 are, of course, the same in BI for the 3. We had other innovations, but not related to the chart content or iterations. The second innovation, strong innovation we have in the BI for the 3, for example, is the Web Intelligence data model, which is a new functionality that lets you share the business semantic created by your end user in every Web Intelligence document.
Okay. Thank you very much. Then, okay, let's take another question. Okay, hold on. There was a question actually again from Ravi is, can we do this only in 4.3 WebI, or this can be done in 4.2 as well?
Yes, really easy. What Pascal has created today, you can achieve the same in WebI for the 2, as long as you are on the right versions that contain, for example, the tiles, which was, if I'm right, it has been delivered in size pack 6 or 5, I don't remember.
And actually, the good news is most people actually, based on the first survey, seem to be in SP6 and above. So that's pretty straightforward. And just a side question is, when is the release of 4.3 SP1? Because there are very few people right now that are in 4.3, and I saw that there were actually still a few things that were missing in 4.3, and I think pretty much everything is going to be there in 4.3 SP1. When is going to be the release of that?
4.3 Service Pack 1 is planned for December this year, December 2020.
Okay, and is it early December, end of December, or that's not decided yet?
Let's say this is mid-December for Christmas.
Okay. Well, that's good news. That's good news. Then we have another question. If we click on Country USA in the GeoMap, and GeoMap doesn't display the value in it, why?
If you can continue
yes. I've replied to this question. That's just the way the document has been designed. We can display the value or the label of the data, or we can even display both if we wish. It's just a matter of configuration.
Okay, okay. Then there's another question. When exporting the dashboard to PDF, would we have option to export only specific countries' data at the export prompt?
In fact, the export functionality in WebI exports whatever the document is displaying when you export the content of the document. So you can choose the which report within the document you want to export and which pages you want to export from each report, but you can't select the actual data. The data is what you see at the moment when you export the document.
Actually, I have a question actually for the audience, and maybe if the audience can answer in the question box, that would be very interesting. I would be curious to know if you guys feel of some interest to be doing dashboards in WebI, and if this is actually something that you plan on using, because the reason we've actually done the session of today is because a lot of people have asked us, okay, hey, we love BobJ and we do want to do dashboards in WebI, and in general for the dashboards that our business users are asking, it seems that WebI is sufficient. So I'm kind of interested to see if some people have some comments around if they're using WebI to do dashboards, if they have, how easy it is. What's their feedback? Because as you were mentioning, I think it's available since what 4.2 SP5 or SP6, if I recall. In the meantime, let's take another question. I see an option after saving the report only.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the question is.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I was just reading the question. I was trying to figure it out. And do you have a system? Yeah, go ahead.
There's a save and a save as. So yeah, you can save the document or make a copy of it. If that answered the question. I'm not sure if there's anything else I should answer.
Madhu, if we haven't answered your question, please feel free to put something in the chat box, and we'll do our best to go deeper in the question. Then there's another question. The new interface looks more like SAC. One drawback with SAC is exporting the report to CSV versus Excel. Hope the feature of exporting Excel is not taken away in the new release of WebI. Do you have any comments on that, guys? That was from Robert.
Yes, of course. No, all the export to capabilities that you have in BI for the 2 remain available in the BI for the 3, which means that export to CSV or export to XLS is fully part of the WebI for the 3. They are fully part of WebI for the 3.
Okay, nice. Thank you very much. I see actually one comment from Jana saying, yes, we're planning to upgrade to 4.3 and we'll be providing users information on dashboard creation within WebI. So just for your reference, so we'll actually, all this content around how to build WebI dashboard will be available on the YouTube channel of 360. Please feel free to share that with your users, and if you need something, we'll be more than happy to try to provide you more content with Pascal and Gregory. And by the way, Pascal and Gregory, if you have some more content around how to build dashboards, we're more than happy to share it with the audience of today and to make it available to them afterwards.
Yes, maybe one last question, if you allow me, Bruno.
Sure.
The last question asked by Jaya Kumar. Currently, we are using for the 2/7 using WebI for tabular reporting and Lumira for dashboarding. If you upgrade to BI 4.3, is it possible to achieve all dashboard in WebI rather than using Lumira? My point of view is really straightforward. I think so. I think that with the Web Intelligence 4.3, we have now a very good tool that will help you to achieve a very good and nice looking dashboard, but inside Web Intelligence. And furthermore, we have partners who are creating visualization extensions, which are kind of interactive charts or interactive tables that you can go get and easily install in the BI 4.3. And this kind of visualization extension will simply boost the look and feel of your Web Intelligence document. And I'm specifically thinking of a partner called Need4Viz. It's like I spell it, Need4Viz. Go and look at their website and you will see and you will find a very good example by what I mean by boosting the look and feel of your Web Intelligence document thanks to advanced and interactive visualization.
And you know, in general, the customers that I know that have actually been using WebI dashboards are telling us that in 90% of the cases, what you can do in WebI for the dashboards is actually that it's sufficient for business. So,
yes, exactly.
Which means that people actually don't need to invest more elsewhere. You have it within business objects. So it's something that we've been hearing very consistently. And actually, we did the first presentation around WebI dashboards, I think maybe over a year ago, Pascal. And you know, since then, we've actually seen quite a few people using the dashboards and just telling us, you know what, it's cool because we don't need to invest in another solution. We can keep the data integrity, and it does the job, and it's actually pretty easy to do. And there was a question, you know, what's the name of the company that Pascal was or Gregory was referring to? So it's called Need4Viz, Need NEED number 4 VIZ.com. So that's the name of the company. So Pascal, Gregory, thank you very much for your time today. That's really cool. You know, appreciate that you put together this presentation. And as I said, you know, we're going to share it later this week with the entire audience. Before we go, just keep in mind that when you disconnect, basically there will be a survey. So please take, I think it's like what, 20 seconds to answer the survey. We'd appreciate it very much. And then you'll be automatically logged out. The next session will be at 9:30 Eastern. And it's going to be around tips and tricks to do an effortless upgrade to 4.3 with our COE, Patrick Perrier. So please connect around, let's say, 9:29 or so, and then we'll be all there. And I hope there won't be any technical challenges this time. So thanks a lot, guys. It was awesome to have both of you today. And have an awesome evening, guys. Thank you.